Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Hazeeq, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at Glmr. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. If you haven't seen the previous update, make sure to watch that before watching this one. It's going to be linked in the top right hand corner of the screen. Now let's jump straight into the TA. One more thing just before we dive into the TA, there is a donation link down below in the description. Feel free to donate and support the kids in Gaza. And now we can go into the TA. Taking a look at the daily chart, you can see that we had a very nice double bottom pattern here, and we were targeting this support actually at 16 cents or so. We also laid out a fib retracement with targets to the downside, and a lot of them were met. I think most of them were met, but you can feel free to watch my previous updates on Glmr and you can see for yourself the targets that we had. Now, since the bottom here in October, we have gone up approximately 110%, which is not bad. We are breaking above this red resistance block, and that is important. That was a major resistance level that we had during May and June 2023. We also rejected that in November twice. But right now in December, we managed to break out. We wicked off of this major block above us between 36 and 34 cents. As you can see, this is also going to be a major resistance level moving forward. But what I want to do is I want to come back down and retest the red block as support. So between 29.5 down to 28.5 cents, that's going to be an important level for us to hold. You can also see that the 20 EMA is around there. So coming back down to the 20 and just consolidating in this range before eventually moving up would be the best thing in my opinion, because we want to double confirm that this block has flipped to support. Now, if you still don't have any Glmr and you haven't been buying during these massive pullbacks for some reason, we were covering Glmr for more than a year at this point, and I do have a pretty good position in Glmr myself. And if you want to buy some tokens, I'd probably wait before doing that right now. You can see that we do have a bit of a bearish divergence playing out on the daily. So the RSI is printing a lower high while the price action is printing a higher high. And this can be seen on multiple altcoins at the moment. That's why I'm being a bit cautious, FOMOing into some altcoins. Some are still okay to buy because they haven't pumped as much. But when you look at things like Glmr, if you really want to get into it and you're afraid that the price is going to skyrocket within the next month, then feel free to start dollar cost averaging and then buy as we go down in case we go down. But if you just want to stay on the sidelines until we have a bit of a retracement, feel free to do that. Like I said, 28.5 to 29.5 cents is still a good entry point. And you can also target this previous local resistance that we had. So September 28th and 25th, really, we created this resistance level that sent us back down, and that was a pretty important level for us to break above, but we still haven't seen a back test of support. So that's another level for you to eyeball, and that is sitting at 25.5 cents roughly. What we can also do is we can set up a Fibonacci retracement from this local bottom that we have in October to the local high that we had in September. And you can see the 1.618 was perfectly met. So if you entered somewhere down here and you were waiting for the 1.618 to be met, and that's where you wanted to exit, which also aligned very nicely with this resistance block that we have above us, then feel free to take profits if that's what you're looking to do. If you're looking to exit the project, feel free to do that. If you're holding for the long term, however, then I would just stay away from selling. Honestly, just stake your tokens and don't be tempted to swing trade and do anything like that, because you're just, adding additional risk to an already risky asset. So I would stay away from swing trading, especially if you have no idea what you're doing and you're new to this. Just stay away from swing trading, but of course, not a financial advice. Now, what we are going to be expecting of course, based on the fib, is a retracement back to the 1.272, which is at 28.5 cents, which lines up perfectly with some of these local highs and with our red support block. But you can see that some altcoins are getting parabolic, and if we get some news regarding Moonbeam, we could have a nice big candle to the upside. So just don't be surprised if that happens. But of course, we can't look into the future and we can't FOMO in at the same time. You should have been buying down here like I was, and like hopefully some of the viewers on the channel were buying, because you want to be buying when it's down, when it's boring, when it's slow, and you don't really want to be buying in when it starts pumping. But now let's switch over to the weekly chart to take a look at the long-term picture. And before we continue with the video, I quickly want to mention my Patreon that's linked down below in the description. If you enjoy my content, you want to get more exclusive content, and you want to support me at the same time, definitely feel free to check out the Patreon, because you're going to get a 7-day free access on my Patreon and an instant access to all of my content since October 2021, which is when I started. You'll get access to content like exclusive weekly podcasts, and we're starting to invite guests already. We have 40 plus low cap gem posts. We have a bunch of project reviews. We have a bunch of resources that are going to help you save time and make more money with this upcoming bull market. So this is definitely a great exchange of value for the both of us. And once again, there's a 7-day free trial. Feel free to check it out. You can leave anytime, and let's continue with the video. So switching over to the weekly, you can see that we are back above the 20 MA. So that is a huge sign for me, because this is going to be your support band during the bull market. And during a bear market, the 20 MA on the weekly is your resistance band. As you can see, we had a touch off of the resistance there and off of the resistance there in September. So that's the way it works with the 20 MA on the weekly chart. And when you flip it to support, that's a really good sign. So the 20 MA is going to be an amazing entry point in case we do come back down there. Now we also have a descending resistance trend line, as you can see. So we hit it once here in August 2022, another touch in February 2023. Now in December 2023, hopefully we're going to be breaking out. You can see we're also running into this resistance block that we outlined on the daily chart, around about 33 cents. Once we're able to get above that and back test that as support, then we can actually start looking at the 55 EMA, because you want to create a nice support level here after you break out above it. And we just need a nice quick bounce, and that's all really. I think Glmr isn't a high cap altcoin, so it's not going to take a lot of money to start pushing the price to the upside. What we also want to do is we want to break above the August 2022 high. Once we can do that, I would say we can officially say that the bear market bottom has been printed, because you need to break through a major resistance level before you can actually say that. At the moment, we can't say that the bear market is in, because we are still printing a lower high. So what we need to do is we need to invalidate this downtrend. We need to break out of it and get above this resistance level. Once we're able to do that, like I said, we can say that the bear market is in, and yeah, that'll be it. Until that happens, I would assume we're going to be getting some pullbacks here and there, so you can still have a good chance to enter below 30 cents. Maybe, no one knows. But if we set up a Fibonacci retracement from the bottom there in October, I think, right, to the swing high in August 2022, our 1.618 target is going to be $2.13. And then the second fib level is going to be $3.90. And of course, we could go much higher than that during the bull market. Depends on how bullish we get with the Polkadot ecosystem. I'm personally bullish on Polkadot 2.0, and I think Moonbeam is going to be doing great. So, you know, it is possible we could get up to $7 to $8 to $9 during the bull market, but just to be conservative for now, we can target $3.9 to $5 here, which is the previous April 2022 high. Keep in mind, there were a lot of tokens added to the circulation, so now the market cap is going to be much higher at the same prices that we were back in April. For example, when we were at $5 here, the circulating supply, which was much smaller. So now it's going to take much more money to get back up to those same prices. Hopefully that makes sense. Now, taking a look at the stochastic, you can see we are in the overbought right now, and this is not a very good time to be buying in. Of course, this is more of a short to mid-term indicator compared to the RSI, but this is where you should have been buying when you were down here from April 2023 up until September 2023. So when you're down here, that shows that it's boring. It's basically a bear market. But when you start moving up, right, this is when the first initial wave comes in, when we're getting into the bull market, of course, and there is still a chance for us to come back down and sort of reset the stochastic, which I think is going to be happening on numerous occasions. But the more long-term indicator here is the relative strength index, and we started moving out of the oversold, and we were here for absolute ages, and we finally started breaking out. So that's good to see. I would expect some sort of a pullback in this region here. So coming back up to that level is something that I would expect, because this was our resistance in April this year. Then we broke above, had a nice back test of support, so we could come back down to 41 on the index, maybe even 35 on the index. So if that does happen sometime early 2024, then just know that that's going to be providing you a good entry point. And that's pretty much it. So like I said, we're bullish on GLMR here on the channel. The price is starting to move up very nicely, and is the bottom in? We don't know. We can't say that yet. We're not going to guess and throw out these weird numbers and statistics that don't matter. We just want to see major levels broken, then we can say that the bear market is in. If you want to wait until that happens, right? If you want to wait until you break above 80 cents, that way you're kind of being safer, because at this point, if we know that the bear market bottom is probably in, we're not going to have much of a risk moving forward. But here at this point, if you're still buying in, there's still a chance you're going to continue down, right? Or the chance of that happening is much higher than it is over here. So that's the logic. So some people just stay on the sidelines until you break through some major resistance levels, until, for example, you get the bullish cross on the weekly chart, and then they buy in. But of course, they miss out on some gains beforehand because they want to avoid additional risk. So it's up for you to decide whether you want to do that or not. Like I said, personally, we've entered GLMR, and I can't even remember what my average buying price is. I think it's around 28 cents, but yeah, it's below 30, I think. And that's pretty much it for this video. Let me know if you're bullish on GLMR. Let me know what is your average buying price, and let me know what price targets are you going to be looking at in 2024 to 2025. Thank you for watching the video. Stay safe and goodbye.